Hey everybody, my name is Mike. I am not for Coltrane. Welcome to your Coltrane Tuesdays for this, the 8th day of August in the year 2023 of the Common Era. And wow, I actually managed to make it online pretty close to on time, which, yeah, I'm even more surprised than you are. But I believe things are functional, and I believe we've got the video and audio going out to people. And I believe there may actually be some people who are watching. So yay, all of those things are wonderful. If you're watching this on the replay, also, yay. Thanks so much for checking this out. This is a particularly busy time of year for those of us who have things that we're doing that involve Musikfest. Move that down just a little bit so I can see more what's going on. I was helping out at Musikfest this past weekend and didn't leave myself a lot of time to prepare really anything for today. And then yesterday was also down at Musikfest enjoying performances by some other musicians that I know, and then came home and collapsed. So here we are. We figured out, I had to figure out what, oh, thanks very, very much, Margot, for confirming that the video and audio are functional. Always a help to know that that is there. So today, if you saw in the brief window of time when I had them online, the thumbnail as well as the promotional image that I sent out on the socials showed an image of broken glass, of broken bottles. And the hint there was that I'm doing a song called Where the Bottles Break by John Gorka. And this is, I believe this was, oh yes, I am, oh jeez, I'm glad I have electricity too. I didn't realize that folks didn't have electricity right now because I've had my head buried in just getting this online. So if this feed stops suddenly, it could be because the power went out. Here's hoping that doesn't happen. And Margot, I hope that you also have power wherever you are. So yes, Where the Bottles Break by the one and only John Gorka. I needed to figure out a song that I could do with relatively, let's say, minimal rehearsal. And this one occurred to me, as well as one that has a bit of a Musikfest tie, because John Gorka has played at more than a few Musikfests over the years. Bring this up. I'll talk a little bit more about the song. Oh man, there's so much to say about the song, and I think most of it, some of it I do during the introduction of the song, but then I'll bring up some more things afterwards. I think this could use just a little extra percussion to it. I walk where the bottles break and the blacktop still comes back for more. I walk where the bottles break and the blacktop still comes back. I live where the neighbors yell, the music comes up through the floor. I live where the neighbors yell, the music wakes me up. Life beyond the playground, fence as serious as basketball. Life beyond the playground, fence as serious. 4 blocks from the steel mill blast, I paint my claim up on the wall. 4 blocks from the steel mill blast, I paint my claim. From my end of the south side drag, it's a common thought to call the cops. Further west it's being gentrified, they turn biker bars into flower shops. I kinda miss those Harley guys who rarely did anybody harm. They mostly like to drink and shout, flash those pictures on their arms. Whoa, whoa, whoa. while the poor get pushed aside. Happens when the money comes, the poor get pushed. The buyers come from somewhere else, they raise the rent so you can't hide. Buyers come from out of state, they raise the rent. Buy low, sell high, you get rich and you still die. When money talks, people jump, ask how high, low life down, what's his name? Who cares? I don't want to know what the hell he does with his hair. It's a shame that the people at work want to hear about this kind of jerk. Whoa, whoa, whoa. People are saints, some people just die. They want to feel like they can. They want to ride in their own car. People are saints, people just die. They want to feel like they can. They want to ride in their own car. I just want to make enough to buy this town and keep it rough. I just want to make enough to buy this town. Buy low, sell high, you get rich and you still die. Money talks, people jump, ask how high, low, life, dollar, what's his name? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Top bill comes back for more. I walk where the bottles break. The blacktop still comes back. I live where the neighbors yell. Music comes up through the floor. I live where the neighbors yell. The music wakes me up. Life beyond the playground, fence, serious basketball. Life beyond the playground, fence, serious. Life beyond the playground fence. Serious, serious, serious. Serious, serious, serious. Raise our rent. Serious. Poor get pushed. Where the Bottles Break by John Gorka. So I forgot to do the introduction while I was playing the introduction, but that is okay. I'm a little under-rehearsed, we'll say. The moment of panic, I don't know if it came through in my eyes, but there was a moment of panic during the first verse when I realized I haven't actually sung this all the way through in more than a year. I wonder if all the words are going to be there when I need them. And fortunately, I believe all of them were there. Yes, so this was around the time John Gorka wrote this. Around the time he was still living in South Bethlehem, over in Fountain Hill, and obviously there are a lot of specific references. The Steel Mill Blast makes a pretty obvious one. But he did also, there was a biker bar that turned into a flower shop and then subsequently has turned into something else. I don't remember which one it was, but I believe it was right there in the neighborhood of Godfrey Daniels, in that unit block of, what's that, East 4th Street, there on the south side of Bethlehem. And yeah, and I like how it's, well, first off, it's a song about gentrification, because hey, it's a song about gentrification. How many of those are there? But also that so much of what inspired the song was John sort of looking around and seeing how the neighborhood is changing and like, all right, well, that's cool, but are my neighbors still going to be able to live here with all these changes? Am I still going to be able to live here with all these changes? I like that he doesn't present the way things were as, you know, a panacea. Everything was perfect. Everything was wonderful. No, there was a lot of challenges about living there, but also there was something authentic about what was there, and that, yeah, that's and the people in particular, and their lives and livelihoods. That's worth preserving. Whatever else we're going to end up doing, and of course the oblique reference to the developer from out of state. That proved remarkably current, even as the decades have gone on since John Gorka recorded that particular song. I did, as you may have noticed, modify the lyrics. The original lyric was, "Who cares? I don't want to know what his new wife doesn't wear." For a while, I was singing, "I don't want to know what Miss Universe doesn't wear or didn't wear." But then I thought changing it to hair is sort of a more evergreen reference that will I think stand the test of time for as long as we're talking about that particular individual. I will also say the studio recording of this song was on the Jack's Crows album, which came out in 1991. So still remarkably current for having came out in 1991. I looked at the credits for it. The background vocals provided by Sean Colvin, Lucy Kaplansky, and David Wilcox, all of whom have gone on to all sorts of wonderful things. Sean Colvin had a pretty significant hit with Sonny Came Home, in addition to, of course, being involved with the folk circuit. Lucy Kaplansky has gone on to do all sorts of cool things, hanging out with Richard Shindell and Dar Williams and Cry Cry Cry, as well as, of course, all of the wonderful things that Lucy Kaplansky has done. John Gorka, of course, being the former bandmate of Richard Shindell, and then David Wilcox also being a pretty prolific and well-known performer in the folk circuit. Probably best known hit in the folk circuit world anyway, Rusty Old American Dream, also worth looking up. So I'll post some links to some cool things that those folks have done, but it is nice that all of these people were involved. I'm glad to see Rex is here too. Rex just deleted the comment he put in the chat, so I hope things are okay with Rex. Okay, one of the things that I would want to mention. So yeah, so that's there's not a whole lot else I could say about Where the Bottles Break. Oh, I will say this too. One of the influences on my take of that song was Ani DeFranco. Of course, the whole folk community, like, people all know each other, which is cool, and that the fact that so many people continue to get along and collaborate and do various cool things like that, I think is pretty wonderful. There was a recording that I heard quite a few years ago of Ani DeFranco, who also played Godfrey Daniels, of Ani DeFranco covering that particular song. The version that I heard initially, well, first off, she plays it faster and sort of has more of an edge to it, and she also loses her place in the lyrics in the middle of it, and I believe says, "Don't tell John." So I don't know if that's a recording I'll be able to find online, but if you do happen to know where that recording might be and you want to post a link, that's very cool. I do say that John, in his stage presence as well as a human being, comes across as sort of very self-effacing and not aggressive. When I'm covering his music, I often sort of tap into a frustration and an anger that I think is there in the lyrics, but that doesn't really come through in John's performances. People may think that ruins it. I don't know, but at least that's something that I hear and that I'm responding to. There you go. So I think that's all I have to say about Where the Bottles Break by John Gorka. As I mentioned, of course, John Gorka clicked the wrong thing, had to rewrite it. Okay, well, I'll see what Rex is posting there. As I mentioned, John Gorka has played more than a few Musikfests over the now 40 Musikfests that have happened here in Bethlehem, PA, which is pretty cool. And another group that has been performing at Musikfest is the Big Easy Easton Brass. Rex has some affiliation with the Big Easy Easton Brass, and the BEEB, as they are called, has been, I believe, out on both days of the weekend, and I believe are coming up again this coming weekend. Rex, if you want to let people know when and where they should look for the Big Easy Easton Brass at Musikfest, please do. Rex wrote, "I always like that song, and more songs about gentrification and its mixed bag of effects would be welcome." Yes, indeed. And I think that's true. I think that is an important point, is that it is a mixed bag of effects. It's not just like all development is bad. Things should stay exactly as they are. But yeah, it is very easy, especially for developers seeing dollar signs in their eyes, to lose sight of it's not just positive effects that come with development. So there you go. Speaking also of Godfrey Daniels, I talk periodically on this program about Godfrey Daniels, the wonderful listening room, little concert venue on the south side of Bethlehem that has been around for even longer than Musikfest, which is pretty cool. And of course, John had a long affiliation with Godfrey Daniels, even living there in the basement at one point. Possibly not with the approval of the zoning officials or anybody else. Godfrey Daniels, being such a wonderful and long-lived institution here in Bethlehem, also has, for many years, has had a partnership with Musikfest, which is really, really cool. On the final Sunday of Musikfest, it is Godfrey Daniels Day over at Liederplatz, which is the stage that's in the Sun Inn courtyard over on the north side of town, basically right set back behind the buildings at Main and Walnut Street there. It is my favorite venue at Musikfest. I love the way the sound bounces around in there, and the way the building's insulated from all the other stages, so you can enjoy what you're hearing there without bleeding over from the other stages, as well as the style of music that's there. It's a lot of blues and Americana and folk sort of stuff, which I happen to enjoy. So this Sunday is Godfrey Daniels Day at Musikfest. I will be there stage managing, which I'm looking forward to, so that'll be fun. And Godfrey Daniels, what Godfrey Daniels Day means is a couple of things. One is the annual Martin Guitar Raffle for Godfrey Daniels. One of the larger fundraisers that Godfrey's does is our friends up the road in Nazareth at Martin Guitar donate some wonderful guitars, usually like a guitar and a ukulele and some strings and some things like that, so there are multiple prizes. But the first prize is always a brand new wonderful Martin guitar. Sunday at Musikfest is a great opportunity to buy raffle tickets for the Martin Guitar Raffle, and the winner will be announced at the end of the day at Godfrey Daniels Day. You do not have to be present to win, so if you're able to just swing by at any point during the day on Sunday, you can put in your ticket for the raffle. In addition, Godfrey's works with Musikfest to do all the booking for the Liederplatz stage on that final day of Musikfest, which is also very cool. I don't have the whole list of performers here in front of me because ran out of time. But I will mention two of the performers that do stick out in my mind. One of them, it is a tribute to Jason Hahn. Jason Hahn is a guy that I knew from the open mic at Godfrey Daniels. Tremendous fingerstyle guitar player. The things he could do with the guitar were really, really cool, as well as the instrumental pieces that he wrote on guitar were really, really, really cool. Jason, unfortunately, is no longer with us. I believe it was cancer. So, in fact, we're at Godfrey Daniels Day. There's going to be a tribute to Jason Hahn with another fingerstyle guitar player. I believe his name is Mark Stewart. He's from out of state and coming in. But I think it's really, really cool that we're going to celebrate Jason and the things that Jason did. As it happens, I think it was back in 2013 or so, Jason and I happened to be two of the individuals selected for the Best of the Godfrey Daniels Open Mic who got to perform at Musikfest, along with Ansel Barnum and Ed McKendry, and I think there was another individual too. But yeah, so it's wonderful to have that Godfrey is going to be celebrating Jason and his life and the music that he made. So I think that's really, really, really cool. Furthermore, closing down the Liederplatz stage at the end of this coming Sunday is a duo, Atlas Howe and Freebo. The two of them have been coming through to Godfrey's for more than a few years. I believe we're going to find out more details on Sunday. But I believe that Freebo is a bass player who has played with a lot of the greats. And he and Alice forged a musical connection a while ago and have been going around and playing on each other's records or performing on each other's records. And Freebo has produced Alice's record and cool things like that. So I'm eager to see what they do. I've never had a chance to see them at Godfrey's. We'll get to see them finishing things up on the Liederplatz stage this coming Sunday. So hope you're able to join us for any part of Musikfest, but in particular for Godfrey Daniels Day at Musikfest this Sunday, August 13th. We start around noon and we'll keep going until the end of the night there at Liederplatz. So there you go. Anything else that has come up? All agree regarding Liederplatz. Margot will be there on Sunday. That is wonderful. Rex says, correct, Big Easy Eastern Brass will parade down Main Street from in front of Donegal Square, past Hotel Bethlehem, to the Lower Platz area, Saturday at 5 and Sunday at 2. So, yeah, right there near Liederplatz, right near the Main Street stage, is where they'll start, and then they will process. Process is a fussy word for it. They're gonna have a party, a moving party that progresses down Main Street from there by Donegal Square and the Main Street stage all the way down to the space between Festplatz and Plaza Tropical. So very cool. Already paraded last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All are welcome to join the second line parade with the band. That is an excellent point. A key part of the Big Easy Eastern Brass experience is you personally are invited to become part of the second line parade. If you want to just march along with the parade, that's great. They usually have some things like some bubbles which you can be blowing as you go along. But even if you just want to march along or dance along with the group, A-OK. That is a great way to participate in what the Big Easy Eastern Brass does. So definitely watch for that. A moving party is exactly what it is, yes. So definitely watch for that Saturday at 5 and Sunday at 2 over at the Musikfest. All right, so now we will get to the Not for Coltrane Stump-the-Band game. At the top of the show, I neglected to mention how this works because I was nervous about playing Where the Bottles Break with minimal rehearsal. So I'll tell you now how that works. If you do already know, now's a great time to get in your song requests. The way the Not for Coltrane Stump-the-Band game works is people give me song requests and I have to respond to them. I have to play something like the requested song regardless of whether I know the requested song. So if people request a song that I do happen to know, I will go ahead and play it to the best of my recollection and without rehearsal. If someone requests a song that I kind of sort of know, like I heard someone play it at Musikfest, or I've seen someone do it at open mic, or I've heard it on a Spotify playlist, but I've never actually played it myself, I will then have to figure out how to play it here in front of everyone. If someone requests a song that I do not happen to recognize at all, I don't recognize the title at all, I'll have to make up a brand new song right here on the spot with the same name as the song that was requested, thereby technically satisfying the requirement. That is how we play the Not for Coltrane Stump-the-Band game. I will vamp here for a couple of minutes to let people get in requests, as it does take a few minutes between when you hit send on your computer or on your device and when it shows up in a place that I can see it. Beth is in the mood for Bill Withers. That's an excellent suggestion. So there are multiple Bill Withers songs that you know. People may not know that Bill Withers is the person who wrote them, but there are a lot of wonderful songs that Bill Withers has written. I'll see if anyone wants to narrow down Beth's request for a particular Bill Withers song, or if I'm going to end up selecting one myself. In the meantime, I will start getting this tuned up so that we're ready to proceed with something in response to the requests that are coming in. I could potentially make this easier on myself by actually saying which Bill Withers songs are the ones that I have to have any awareness of. All right, I haven't seen anything yet, so I'll mention the one I know best, I believe, is Use Me. I think I could do Lean on Me without too much difficulty. I think I could probably figure out Ain't No Sunshine. I just the two of us would be more challenging, but it's probably doable. But we'll see what requests happen to come in, or what requests have already been. Okay, so Rex has to go. Hope to run into him at the festival, absolutely. Let's see, so if I don't get a specific request for Bill Withers, I'm going to have to pick something myself. Let's see here. Not seeing other requests coming in just yet. In the spirit of the Not-for-Coltrane Stump-the-Band game, I will do one of the ones that I do not know particularly well, which is Ain't No Sunshine. I'm going to feel really silly if Ain't No Sunshine doesn't actually turn out to be a Bill Withers song. If someone wouldn't mind looking that up. I should see if I can actually sing it in this key. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. No sun every time she goes away. So one of the things that helps is that I believe there is a pretty significant amount of repetition in the lyrics for this. I do not know actually all of the lyrics, but we're going to make something up that's going to be close enough. Alright, so not having seen anything else, I am going to, and assuming that things are still working, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to perform a version of Ain't No Sunshine with some improvised lyrics, and we'll see how this goes. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. When she goes away, ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone. Anytime she goes away, ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's away. No sunshine when she's gone. It's always gone. Anytime time she goes away, I feel down and all the time. I feel down so low, I say. I feel down so low, so low, so low. Time she goes away. I know, 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 I know. It's time she's alone, and the sunshine she's gone. The sunshine she's away. The sunshine she's gone. She's always gone. It's time she goes away. I know, 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 I know. It's time I'm alone, ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's away. No sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone. She goes away. And I'll walk these streets alone. Walk the streets to the end of my day. Walk these streets alone, on and on. Time she goes away. There you go. Some approximation of Ain't No Sunshine in response to Beth's request for a Bill Withers song. And I appreciate that Margot was able to go look up that in fact Ain't No Sunshine is a Bill Withers song. Of course, the lyrics and the details of what I was playing were not actually faithful to necessarily to the Bill Withers original, but a not terrible result nonetheless from that experiment in my estimation. So thanks very much to Beth for that request. And thanks very much to all of you for hanging out with us here at the Coltrane Tuesdays show for this August 8th particular show. Thanks very much to Rex for the information about the Big Easy Easton Brass. As he said, you can catch the BEEB over at Musikfest. They are stepping off right around the Main Street stage, just south of the Main Street stage, this Saturday. I believe he said this Saturday at 5. Yes, this Saturday at 5, and on Sunday at 2, and also this Sunday, which happened to be August 13th. Please also check out the Liederplatz lineup over at Musikfest. Liederplatz is the one in the Sun Inn courtyard, not far from the intersection of, I believe it's Walnut and Main Street, right there near Donegal Square, of course also near the Sun Inn. You can look up either one of those. for Godfrey Daniels Day at Musikfest, including the Jason Hahn Memorial Tribute Performance, as well as the headline show with Alice Howe and Freebo. Go check out John Gorka. I'll post some links in the description subsequently. And yeah, thanks very much again for hanging out, for watching this on the replay. Please take care of yourselves and take care of each other. My name is Mike. I am Not for Coltrane, and I will see you here next time.